Start streaming. All right, so we're going to be talking about documents today, and we're going to be talking about how to create documents from contact information. So with that being said, we are going to jump right into it. Boy, I'm gonna get better at this live streaming. So here we go. So hopefully y'all can see my screen at this point. And let me put this over here for easy viewing. All right, there we go. So there we go. All right. So here we go. All right. So we're going to be creating the ideas. We're going to lay out a plan where we can just a scenario where we're going to discuss. We'll take a few sessions to go through this as well. So today we're going to just be creating the contract and the automation. And then next week we're going to give a full demonstration of what it looks like when it's all built out. And the scenario is I just want to make this clear that this community is to help businesses that are in business to help other businesses. So if you're a business to business enterprise or you're a business to business company, then this is the community that you want to be in as far as when it comes down to building out your automations and building out your marketing workflows. I'm primarily going to deal with issues that are surrounding this, that are people that are in business for the purposes of helping other businesses. So if you're a business to business, this is where you want to be. One of the main concerns that I ran into, and I just ran into it today, is how do you, or in the last couple of days, even 2 times in like the last couple of days, is following up with people. And immediacy is the number one key to following up. You want to make sure that you, whenever you're engaged with someone, and strike while the iron's hot. You just had an awesome time discussing and consulting, going over what the project's going to entail. Now you need to send out a follow-up, which is a contract or a proposal, and you need them to sign that so then you can turn around and get payment done quickly and at speed. So we're going to be talking about how to create a contract or a proposal that can take meeting notes as a summary and then run that through AI, and then through AI come up with a flow, or basically a layout of what your contract needs to be. We're going to be talking about the prompts that need to go inside of the AI, how to get the information out that you need to get it out, and then using contact data in your actual, or contact information in your actual proposal or document that you can then send out right then and there. And when I say immediacy, I'm talking about within 10 to 15 minutes of you being on the call, you can have a proposal that's ready to go and sent to the client or the potential client. And you can even probably do it while you're still on the phone in some cases, if you use a little bit of savvy when you're on the phone with them. So we're going to go through that. So the first thing I want to start with is creating the document. Now, to find the document in the Traffic Link app, it kind of doesn't make sense in one way, but in another way it does. So to get to documents, you want to go into the payments menu on the left-hand side, and then you'll see that on the payments is everything that's regarding payments, from invoices and estimates, documents, contracts, orders, subscriptions, payment links. But we want to go into documents and contracts. So the first thing we want to do is go into templates, and let me just show you guys what all you can do with templates. So let's go ahead and let's create a nice template that's going to be representative of what you want your clients to see. So the first thing we're going to do, so we don't have one right now in this account, so we're going to go ahead and create one. And you can either go create one from using a PDF, or you can create one from a template, a new template from scratch. So we're going to create a new template from scratch. This is the way we're going to go, because one of the things I want to make sure that I'm doing is that I'm making a big impact right from the beginning. Now, information that's going to be leveraged here may or may not be like what I would choose personally, but it's going to give you an idea of what the capabilities of the tool are. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to name this. We're going to name it High Ticket Consultation 20 hours a week. Or I just say 20 hours a month, because then that would really make it high ticket. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to build a cover letter. So what do I want the cover letter to look like? So I'm going to go over here and add an element. I want the element to be a video, right? So I can choose what video I want. So, it's going to be a video that's going to be from YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Wistia, Vidyard, or Loom. So I'm going to go and let's see if I can grab a Loom video really quick. Just a second while I go do that. I'll grab one of my Loom videos. While I do that, you guys can have a look at me. So let me jump into Loom. So I'm going to grab one of my Loom videos and I'm going to drop that in to show you what this looks like. So I want the video, the intro the intro page or the cover page to be a video. And in this video, it's going to be just me. I would imagine this would be a video saying, thank you very much for choosing to work with us and giving us the opportunity to work with you. Now we're talking about something that's going to be high ticket, so you want it to be high impact, right? So we want to greet them with a video right off the rip. So just a second here. Again, I'm having a slow system day. Slow. Okay, so we're not going to go. My Loom is having an issue right now, so I'm just going to pivot. Going to pull up YouTube. And I'm going to go and pull in a video. So let me grab a link to share. And again, we're going to be putting a video on. We're creating this cover letter. Some of the things that I will say too is that, and I guess we'll talk about this a little bit, is, let's see if I can find one that here, I'll just use this one right here. All right, so I got a YouTube video. Now, mind you, the content of the video isn't what I'm really focused on just the layout, okay? So I can put a video here, right? And this might actually work, to kind of fortify. Maybe this might be a video that helps fortify the message or reinforces the message that you were talking about, the emphasis of what you were talking about during your call, as you were getting to know one another. And you want to go right here, and then you can say this proposal for, and then you can put in contact first name. I happen to know that the code or the merge field for the contact first name, but in case you don't know that, I'm just going to, for the sake of just demonstrations, all you really have to do is go up here and this where it says custom values, you can go to contact and you can go first name, right? And let's say one thing I don't like already is I don't like the white background on the page. So for the background of the page, let me go ahead and get out of this and go here. All right. And I'm going to put in, hold on, let me see if I can choose a different element. Yep. I just want to be on the page. So again, slow system day. So I'm just going to go here, these three dots, page properties, and I'm going to change the background of the page to something that's off white. Like I might just pick something in this range right here, right? Something that's just off white, something that's just not stark white. I don't like stark white pages generally when I'm trying to create something that looks custom, because I want it to feel like something that's going to be nice, that's going to be appealing, it's going to be inviting, and I want it to kind of resonate. And so I can go ahead and say this proposal being prepared for, and then right here you can put in, right here you can go by, and then you can go into custom values, and you can go to user, and you can go to user full name. And actually, instead of it being prepared for the first name, I want to use the potential client's first name. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to full name. Okay. All right. And I'm also going to see if I can. Okay, so we're just creating the template right now. So prepared for this person, which is me, because I'm in the template mode. This is going to change when I show you guys how to go into the mode that you're going to send to the client. Prepared for this client by this person, and then I'm going to put in a link, not a link, but a date. And we're going to go ahead and put in date right here, month to year, or you can go the day, month, year there. I like to do month to year. That's just what I'm familiar with, primarily because it's how we grew up around here. And then you might want to even say what this proposal is for. Like, so you might, let's see if we can pull in what the proposal is for. This proposal is for, it could be possibly a custom field that you can add. So we'll talk about that later on. But for now, I'm going to put in a custom field, put in this form field. It didn't make sense. You'll probably have to come back in another session to see how I put this together. But I'm going to go to contact, dot business underscore intent, right? And then that business intent, let me spell business right, business intent, and then that's going to be it's going to basically say what they're interested in. So as a contact form, in the form section, I can select something that says, I'm interested in consultation, I'm interested in software development, I'm interested in group coaching, right? Something like that. And then that would be what shows up here in this area. So it says this proposal prepared for Xavier Finch. And then it's going to say what the business intent is, or I can even make more sense by going like this, going to X, or cutting that out of there. This, and then I can go business intent here, and then I can take this down instead of it being a headline. I can make it, or headline 2, I can break it down to a headline 4. And then it says is prepared for by, boom. So now we have a video that greets them. Then we have a proposal, proposal that this proposal is prepared for is just basically in business intent or whatever the service you're providing. Matter of fact, let me change that to make it simpler terms. So in business intent, I'm going to be changing it to service provided. And where am I getting this service provided? I made it up. And I made it up because I understand enough about the system to understand how these right here are called, this right here is called a merge field. Oh, am I even sharing my, yeah, sharing my screen. Oh, no, not. Oh, transition. All right. So, yeah, so that now I have this, so this is where we're at. So now we have the video, then the proposal for, and then it's prepared for, and then by me. So therefore, this right here, where I have highlighted right here, this is called a merge field. This right here is a merge field. And I know that it's a merge field because I'm used to working the system. And how do I know which merge field to choose? Like right now, if you go up here into custom values, I can go through and look through custom fields, and you won't see that's there anywhere, right? So I say in this proposal is contact, this proposal, and then the curly braces, which are those little curly things, contact dot service provided. There's nothing there. So I was saying there's nothing that's in the actual contact record. And so you're maybe asking, how do I know what to put there? Well, I know enough about it to know that I can go create a contact form, a custom field called service provided. And I was saying that you had to come back later, but let's just jump into that really quick. So let me open up a new tab. And I'll show you how to do that. All right. It's taking a little long. Let me refresh. Again, slow system day. Patience is required on this day. Well, that seems to be taking a long time, so I'm just going to jump out of here and go where I need to go. So I'll show you where to change or add a custom field really quick. So, except for it's not going to be really quick because it's taking forever. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go into custom fields. And I'm going to go to a new field. I'm going to say I want to create a drop down single. And I'm going to change this to service provided. Set it on the contact. Set the contact here. And I go here, service. Let's see, consultation. And I'm going to say group coaching. Then I'm going to go to implementation. And we're going to just say that those are 3 services that I'm going to provide. And so then from there, we're going to jump back into the template that we were creating. So you can see where I get this contact dash service provided. So instead of using that and creating it from memory, now I can go into the contact, go scroll down to custom field, and then go into the contact, and then you should see service provided. And see, there you go. And then you got service provided. That's how it's done. But because I've done this so many times, I'm familiar with how that works. So like say this is be our cover page, right? So you have a video that introduces what you're going to be talking about, or introduces the services that you talked about previously on the phone call. So we're walking through a scenario where we just got off a phone call with a potential client. Now we're going to be showing them now we're going to be showing them what we're going to be doing in proposal format. In other words, we're going to write out everything that we talked about. So that I'm going to go, and now that I have my cover page finished, I'm going to go and create a new page. And on this new page, I'm going to select the page properties, and I'm going to use the same color as before. So now that I have that open, I can go into adding in more information about the work that's going to be provided. So I'll go over here, I'll add a text element, and I'll give it a heading for this page called scope of work. And then from here, we're going to create another section where we're going to, and like say if I wanted to make this like super design for the purpose of the fact that it is going to be high ticket. So I'm going to go and I'm going to select the image, I'll put an image in, and then I'm going to go here and let's see if I can find an image. Well, I don't have an image set aside for it right now. So I can go into here. I can go into backgrounds, or I can go into Unsplash. By default, it pulls up with my media. So it's going to look for media that I've added to the traffic link first. If I don't find if I don't have anything in there, I can go to Unsplash or Pixabay. But we're going to go into Unsplash, and then we're going to put man looking through, telescope. Or just put on, okay, that's too much man, not enough telescope. So we're going to put in here telescope. Right, and I'm going to go with this picture right here. Telescope. Right, and then I'm going to take this scope of work, and I'm going to put it up here above the telescope, so I can put scope of work. And then down here, I'm going to include everything that would come over in the scope of work. And again, I'm going to show you how to use AI to get this scope of work in next week in the next session. Because we're right now working through a workflow that we're simulating what it would be like to be on a call with someone, and you guys came to a mutual agreement, awesome call, somebody you would love to work with, and now you need to go through the process of following up with them and sending them out a contract. Like, you need to send them out a contract ASAP, and what that looks like. So we're going to walk through what that looks like. So scope of work. So we go here, and in this section, we're going to put in the contact dot scope of work. So then it's going to break down what the scope of work. And we're going to use AI workflows basically to lay out what that scope of work looks like. So every single time you say send out a proposal, then it's going to send out that proposal relative to what you have in your scope of work. And it's going to send it out in that same form every single time. So you're going to give there's a prompt that we can use. And when we go to that section next week, or the week after, or whenever we get to that section, I will leave the prompt and the prompt that I use in the description, so that you can just take it and then use it for your purposes. Okay, we might even get to some of that today, but right now I'm just trying to lay out a template. And so then the next thing I'm going to do is going to put in a page for pricing, or a breakdown for pricing. So we're going to go back here, change again the page properties, change the color again. We're going to go over here, and then we're going to add in a product list, right? So in the product list, you can select a product that you already have. If you don't have one, then you can create a new one. And we're going to call this one, say that we're going to use this. This is going to be your consultation proposal. Now, in one of the things you have to take into consideration is that when you're building out this template, you have to have some foresight. You have to think about what is going to be the intent of this proposal. Say, for instance, if you are in a service provider, if you're a service provider, if you're a business to business, and you're providing consultation or coaching, right, or you're a public speaker, and you want to be able to create proposals that are going to be able to speak to what the services you're going to be offering, you have to think about the services that you're going to offer potentially in advance. What I mean by that is this: if you're going to have a contract or a proposal that's going to be consultation, group coaching, or implementation, one of the three. So it's either going to be coaching, group coaching, consultation, or implementation, then you need to have a template specifically for that. But if you can imagine a scenario where you're going to have consultation and implementation, then you need to have a template for that. And or if you're going to have a scenario where you're going to have all three of those, then you need to have, again, an all together separate template for that. And so in this case, we're just going to take on the consultation. But as I'm thinking about it, I think it would be kind of fun to show you what it looks like on the back end if you chose to create a proposal that's going to do 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 3 services that you provide, or in case 4 of the 4 services that you provide. And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because this is where it starts to become determined. You need to determine that now, because you got to assume what the prices are going to be for that. Now, if you want to, say, for instance, offer a different price for every single project that you're working on, you want to have customized pricing. That's a little bit of a different workflow than what we're going to try to accomplish here, but I can show you how that's done as we go, because you can actually set the template and then change your prices relative to the services that you're going to provide. But the only caveat to that is that when you go to, in your workflow, when you go to send out a proposal, you're gonna have to send out the proposal manually. Like, you can get the workflow to prepare the proposal for you, and then you can go into the payments menu, and then into proposals and documents, and then your document will be ready to go for you there, and then you can send it out. But I want to show you what it's like when you just click one button and you select your services, and then it automatically sends out a proposal to your client. Like, again, follow-up immediacy is key. And so that's the scenario I'm trying to solve for here. So we're going to go, say we're going to call it consultation. We're going to say it's a service, and then we're going to call it 20 hours consultation. And then we're going to say that we're going to set it for 15,000. Okay. And then we're going to say click here for save for later use. If you click here save for later use, it saves it as a product in the system that you can use in other places throughout the system. And that becomes helpful down the line. One of the things I would say that you should always consider is pre-planning everything that you do in your marketing automation system. And what do I mean by that? Before you even put it in the system, it's probably a good practice to go into like Google Docs or go into Miro and just kind of give yourself a way to like draw it all out, like a rough sketch. And that way, when you put it in the system, you don't have to keep on creating it over and over and over and over again. You can work through the iterations outside of the system so that by the time you put it in the system, you can keep the system clean and lean, and you don't have to worry about having duplicates or wondering, where did this thing go? I know I created this like a month ago. Like, plan it out in advance. That's one of the other things. Why personalization is one of the biggest compliments for automation. Planning is one of the biggest things that you want to do when you're dealing with your automation systems. Planning is key. Like, if you can plan ahead, the better off you're going to be. That's just something to just always consider. So plan ahead, then put it into the system. It's better than just putting it into the system, realizing you made a mistake. Now you have to go through the process of trying to rebuild, tear down, rebuild, and just make your system messy. So using tools like Miro, or even using like Google Docs to kind of lay out what you want to happen, will give you the opportunity to step back, assess, look at it, and be like, does that make sense? Or should I do it another way? And then that keeps your system clean. It helps you it helps you with not getting so frustrated when you're actually in the system. And it's just a better way to move. It's just a better way to move. I'm telling you that because I was one person that didn't like to do it that way, and you can kind of see now as I'm moving through this demonstration that that's not necessarily my native language, but I had to learn to do it that way because it just makes things simpler in the long run. And like I said, while personalization is the biggest complement for automation and in your systems, planning is its best friend. So plan in advance, do all the things outside of the system because it can be very clunky and time consuming if you're trying to address it and trying to make things up on the fly. Just take a step back, figure out what your plan is going to be, draw it out, lay it out, come up with your diagram or your mind map or whatever you want to call it, Miro, Lucid Charts, whatever you want to use, Jiro, whatever you want to use, and just kind of lay it all out first. And then you can look at it, assess it, and then move it into the system. So I just wanted to make that real point really quick. So let's just go back to, So we created a 20-hour consultation product, and we're going to charge $15,000 for it. We're going to call it consultation dash 20 hours. Okay. In this month, right? So, all right. And we're going to go add new. So now we have this in here as a price. And what you might want to take the time to do is adding your description here and what this entails. So this is a weekly consultation that will happen on Tuesdays and Fridays. Two hours per day, 4 times per, is that right? Say 2.5 hours per day. If the math is off, the math ain't mathing. That's just what it is. I'm just for demonstration purposes only. So y'all forgive me, please. 4 times per month, right? That's just a quick demonstration. Description. Now, I almost feel like it would be a good idea to kind of put some text here and then we're going to call this pricing or costs. Call it cost and price. And then a description. So a description of cost and price here. So there you go, right? And so then you can set it up this way. The quantity kind of doesn't make sense to me, but don't mind that for now. And then you can set this to be recurring, right? So this is 15,000 for 20 hours every month. So you can set it to be recurring. You can set it to be monthly. You can set the start and end date. So you can say it's going to be on the first Monday every 1 month. And then use the primary date as primary user sign date. So the date that the user sign will be the day that it recurs every month. And then you can set the end date to end as never, or in my case, I set them, my first contracts are always going to be 3 occurrences. After 3 occurrences, so that means it's going to send out it's going to charge once a month for 3 months. Actually, in this case, it'll be 3 months. 3 months, okay? And then you can set that for whatever number, however long you want it to be. So if you have a 6-month engagement, why is this thing having issues again? If you have a 6-month engagement, you put six occurrences. If you have a 12-month engagement or 12-month contract, put 12. Like that's how you work that, okay? You can change the background image or the background color of it. So like say I want this to be a different color than the rest. I can set it up like that so it stands out. Okay, now you have your pricing page. Again, planning in advance, considering things in advance, then implementing it into this template. What they say, 1 ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That definitely applies here. Anything you're doing with automations and procedures and things like that, plan, implement once. Do the sharpen your axe twice, cut once, right? We've all heard these different axioms and sayings that people say, but that definitely applies here. So again, going to create another page here, and this is going to be our signature page. So, or it's going to be our terms and signatures, right? So, we'll set the background color again. We'll bring in some more text, and we're going to say here, this is going to be terms of service. So then we'll put in the terms of service. Now, this is where you can start to use custom values. So custom values are different than contact fields or custom contact fields. Custom values belong to your account. In other words, they operate from an account perspective. So no matter where you're using these values in your account, they're all going to be the same. And it doesn't matter where you're using your custom values. It doesn't matter which contact you're using it for. Whereas custom fields are very much contact dependent. They need that contact information in order for it to work. So, all right. So we're gonna say terms of agreement. We're gonna bring in. We're gonna go here and we're gonna go and bring in some custom values. So go to custom values. You know what? And we don't have any custom values for this. So let me give you some best practices on terms of agreement. And then let me give a shout out to a piece of software that I like to use. There's a software called Termly.io, and you can go into Termly.io to come up with your terms of service. Now there is some pricing involved with Termly, but I feel like it's worth it. If you're like me and you don't want to think about it too much, you want to just find something that's going to be a general, it's going to be for a good general purposes that you can trust. Termly. Again, consult your legal professionals. Find a lawyer that specializes in your business or specializes in business and talk to them if you want to get down to the nitty gritty and figure out what's going to work for your business and make sure that you are in compliance with all legal, with all legalities. Okay. But nonetheless, you can go in here, you can create an account for free, or you can go as a pro and you can do your own research to figure it out. But you can go into your Termly and figure out what your service is going to be. But let's talk about going in and creating some custom values. So custom values, we're going to be a little long today by a few minutes, but I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun too, joining along. Doesn't seem like there's too many people in the chat, but there's a couple people watching at least. Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to go into here and then we're going to jump into custom values. So just a minute. Patience is applied today. Please apply patience today. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to go into settings again. Then we're going to go into scroll down. We're going to go into custom values. All right, and in the custom values, we want to create a custom value for terms of service. So we're going to go to new. We're going to go here. We're going to call it T terms of service. And then we're going to put in, like, for instance, you can say that you want your terms of service to be a link, right? Or you can just say, like, just grab, let's go over here and grab, let's go to chat. So let's go into chat GPT. We're going to go in here and say, I need standard. Now, I recommend Termly, but for purposes of demonstration and time constraints, we're going to use ChatGPT. I wouldn't trust ChatGPT or any kind of AI, generative AI, that's not trained on my specific business and not trained on my state and not trained on the actual technicalities and legalities of doing business. I wouldn't trust it to be my terms of service. But for brevity, I just need standard terms of service for my consultancy. I put it that way. And I'm just going to put that in. Terms of service. All right. And so I'm just going to grab these terms of service when it's done generating. Now, the thing I don't like about the custom values, it doesn't retain it doesn't retain formatting. That part I don't like. For it to retain formatting, you'd have to choose another option, which is kind of why I like to just use my terms of service as a link and just say, please review terms of service by clicking here. I can show you what that looks like too, but for the sake of what this example, so then I'll show you what so just for the sake of the sample, I'll show you what this looks like. So let's go back. So let's go back into the template, and then we're going to drop in the terms of service. Okay, so terms of agreement, let's go back here, and then we're going to pull in that custom value. So go to custom values, terms of service, and this is what I mean. See, it doesn't retain the formatting. We're going to change this from a heading to a paragraph, and we might even change the hey, come back. Let's go back. So we'll change the sizing. So now it's just paragraph size. All right. And so there we go. So the terms of agreement, right? And it gives you like basically terms of agreement, breaks it all down. You can do it that way, right? Another thing I like to oftentimes what I like to do is I'll do something to the point of to view. I'll say please visit, and then something like that, right? And I'll just leave a link to that, and I'll make that a link. So I'll do something like that and bring this down to regular people size. So say 16. And change this to regular people size too. And then I can make this a link. To make anything a link, you highlight it and just go up here to this add link. And what you want the URL to be displayed will be here. And I go like that and then here I can go here, right? And I can choose self or new window. Self means stay in the current tab where it's at now, or new window means open up a whole new window altogether. So we go to self, hit save, we're good to go. All right, so we go here, and then you can go there. You can, if there's other terms of service that you might want to consider, you can put it here. But this isn't about what to put in your terms of service or terms of agreement. Or even let's just put it like this. That makes a little bit more sense to me. So agreement terms. Okay. And then after this, I might want to put another form, so after this, I'm going to add another text field below. And here, this is where I'm going to put my signature. I want to point out something too. You see where it says PDF page break is going to happen right here. That means that anything after this line right here is going to show up on a new page. So when this is all filled out and it gets sent over to the client, it sends it over as like a DocuSign or a signable document. And of course, when it's a signable document, it represents as a PDF, right? Perfect. It works great. You can download it. You can sign from it. You can do all the things you need to do. You're good to go. Okay. So this is where at this point, this is where I'm going to put, you know what? I probably want to create a new page. I'm going to create a new page. And then on this page, I'm going to put in here, I'm going to change the page color. And then on this page, this is where I'm going to put new text. And I'm going to put here signatures. Signatures. Okay. So then I'm going to put in here in the signatures. Okay. So from here in signatures, I'm going to drop in here and going to go up here to add signature. Right. And then I'm going to add in the date. And then another one for that, it's going to be signature, because in signature, you need to have one for the contact and you need to have one for yourself. So you'll see when I select one of the signatures, it asks to be signed by who. And I'm going to say signed by me, right? And then I'm going to put a date in for me to fill out as well. And this is that way we have one for the contact, one for you, the owner or the business owner. And what happens is on the back end, when you get ready to send this out, it sends out a copy to you, and then it sends out a copy to the client. And so therefore you guys both get the opportunity to sign your side of the contract, right? So there we go. Okay. So now we got a PDF page break that's going to happen right after that. So yeah. So that means that this right here will be on this, like starting here, all the way through the signatures will be on one page. Perfect. I think that's going to look great. That's exactly how I want it to go. All right, cool. So now I have a built out proposal template. So I hit save. All right, I got saved. All right, so then I'm going to go back. Now, let's preview what we have here for let's preview what we have here for the template, and we're going to use some actual contact data to hydrate it, and so you guys can see what we've created so far. And again, this is a template, and you're going to need to modify this for your own business, but I feel like this is giving you the framework, the basics, in order to, in which you can work from. You can iterate over it, ideate, give me feedback. You know, if it's something that goes beyond what you want, please do come join the community. Like, join the community. Let me know you want to join. I'll be checking the comments to let me know if you want to join the community, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll be going over to answer those very specific questions about how do you make it modify it to your liking. So the community is loading. It's not quite there where it needs to be, but it will be shortly. And I'll be giving you guys access to the traffic school community, and we'll be going into deeper details, deep diving into those customized things that you guys might need help with. And plus, it's not going to just be me; it's going to be other people that's going to be in the community. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and that can help answer questions. But if nobody else answers your questions, I will be there for you, like Michael Jackson. So, because he had a song called "I'll Be There." Just want to make sure that's clear. All right. So now we're going to go into creating a new document. Actually, we're going to go in templates, and now we're going to hydrate it. So we're going to go here. We're going to go use template. And when you click on use template, it creates a new document. And then when you have a new document, you'll notice that one of the first things you'll notice is that, look, there's a little recipients icon right here. And you have payment settings. So you can say, I want to enable direct payment. So enable direct payment so you can be able to collect payment immediately after signing. So then you can go into recipients. Then you can choose a recipient. We're going to choose John Baker. Okay. So as we choose John Baker, and as a recipient, and let's see. Nope. Yeah. So then we're going to go to make sure all his contact information is as already. I'm seeing this right here bothering me because it should be prepared by me. I'm the user, but it should be prepared for John Baker. So let's go ahead and preview to see what's happening here. Make sure that that's just not. Okay. So, all right. So what we need to do is, it seems like something's not happening here. So it says prepared for Xavier Finch. That's wrong. That's a template issue. So we're going to save. So you probably already saved. We're going to go back in, change the template to make sure the template is right. If the template is right, then I'm going to have to dig into it and figure out what's happening there. But it shouldn't be selecting the username. It should be selecting the recipient's name to go into that field. So let's go back into that. And I saw that happen while we were building that out, but I thought that was just a matter of just displaying information that was available just for demonstration purposes. But it looks like it's actually trying to retain that information. So I'm going to go in the template and make sure I got the template right. So patience must be applied. Patience is applied today because things are moving at the rate and pace that they want to move. So we're going to the template. We're going to high ticket consultation. We'll go up to the top. Prepared for oh, see, I put username. Exactly what happened. So let me go back and go into contact full name. Prepared for by username. All right. So I go back here, save that. Now let's go back into the document that we were creating, that we were working on. And now it should read John Baker. Should. I can think of a scenario in which it wouldn't read John Baker, but let's just see what it does. All right, and we're going to go back into documents. My expectation is that when I go back in here, it's going to automatically change for John Baker because we changed the template. Nope, it still got me in here. And the reason why is because whenever I created this document, it just captured the template in the state that it, in that particular iteration of the template, and it didn't transfer over. But not to be concerned, because all we got to do is go back in here and change this to contact. There we go. Now it pulls in John Baker. It's pulled in as prepared for John Baker by Xavier Finch on today's date. Right? Videos there. Scope of work. Context, scope of work. Remember, we're going to come back to that in another session to show you how that scope of work is created. And then you got the price that's laid out here. You got the agreement terms to view team terms of service. You can go here. Now, if you don't want that to show up actually in your document, it's a template that you created, so the template can be edited. So you can go here and you can get out of it. All right, there you go. Hit save. Now you have your agreement terms. You got your signature. You notice that the two different colors. This one's for John Baker, date, signature and date. This one's for Xavier Finch, signature and date. Oh, look, this one is saying that it's supposed to be for the client. That's a template issue that I didn't select, so, but no problem. Just change that over. Now we're good to go. Ready to rock. And then we're done, right? So now you have a fully functioning proposal template that works, that implements both videos, images, contact information that's custom, and then contact services provided, service provided. And I think the reason why that is concerning right there. Let me go ahead and address that real quick. Go back in here, contact, and then custom field, contact, service provided. Okay. Doesn't have anything there. If I hit preview, what happens? All right. So it shows up automatically. So let me tell you what we just saw there. That's worth noting in case you're a freak out artist like me at times. You might get a little concerned about why it shows up in the construction or mode and not in the preview mode, or why John shows up and why Xavier shows up and why the date shows up and not this other information. So basically, anything that's going to be on the document level, in other words, what's in the document, what's in this portion of the traffic link, what's in this layer of the traffic link, is because these are document level. This right here, this contact service provided, right, is contact level. In other words, this came from over here in custom values. This came from over here in the document. These are all document level, document level fields. So that's the difference. And this won't read until you hit preview or you send it to a client, right? This right here won't read until it becomes hydrated with actual client information or contact information. So to show you in real time and to just kind of close that loop, let's go back here to the contact. Wait. Today is about the wait. Wait. All right, so let's go into the contact. Let's go into John Baker. Right here. Let's go down to service provided. And we're going to say consultation. I hit save. Then we're going to go back into payments, back into documents, and then we're going to go into the document. So now when I hit preview from here, you'll see that information is now being represented in the preview. See, this proposal consultation is prepared for. Now I can work with that language a little bit. I feel like that is a little bit backwards. So let's change that. So instead of this proposal being on that side of the service render, I'm gonna put it on this side. Oh, and let me edit what I just said a moment ago. The reason why they didn't show before is because that wasn't selected. There wasn't any information in that contact custom field. So there wasn't anything in that contact and the custom field for service provided. But now that there is, it has something to hydrate there. Otherwise, it's just going to remain blank. Okay. So yeah, it's just going to remain blank. But now that there is, this consultation proposal is prepared for John Baker. Boom. There you go. Then you're off to the races. You're good to go. So you can see that this is a pretty robust system, especially with the ability to collect payment immediately. So and it's only available for one-time product invoices, right? So I guess because this is a recurring. If you guys remember, we set this up as recurring. So it's a monthly recurring. Then it's not going to have direct payment, but it will enable send of invoices, right? Invoices are sent via email signing, else they're kept in drafts, right? So if they don't sign, then the invoice will just be sitting in draft mode. If they do sign, the invoice will be sent out immediately, and they can make the payment on the invoice. So hit save, and that's it, you guys. So next week we got some things we're gonna need to cover. Right, next week we need to talk about how to create a form and what that form looks like when you create it, and then how to use the form to collect information. I have a whole workflow, and I've had several people ask me, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you use all these tools to be able to go from just having a regular conversation, a very engaging, direct conversation. I'm making eye contact with people I'm talking with on the phone, and then take the information from there and then put it into my contact or my meeting update form that I have in the Traffic Link app, and then that then sends it to a workflow that pulls out the important parts, and then it then extracts out a proposal scope of work, and then that scope of work is then added to this proposal system here, and then that's immediately sent out to the client for them to sign. And then how do I trust that? There's some prompts that I'm going to have available that'll show you what that looks like, so that I know that I can trust it, because I'm being very specific about what I want to go out to the client in a way it's being represented, and I need that to be repeatable every single time. I use that AI for that. So, all right, that's it. I'm Xavier, you guys, and I want to thank you guys very much for joining me today. Thank you for spending time with me as I go through these systems that help you become a better consultant, a better coach, and a better public speaker. If you're a business-to-business entity, business-to-business enterprise, this is the community for you. We specifically work on processes and automations that's going to help your business become better, give you more time to do things that you really love, like spend time with your family, spend time on the golf course, spend time doing recreational things so life can be lifing and business can be businessing, and you can live a harmonious life that is balanced, and you can be a better human for the world to experience. I'm Xavier. I'm the Traffic Link. I'm out. Talk to you guys soon.